Hello. So this is going to be very exciting. I just dropped off Luca and I have about 4 hours before my next appointment. It is a work day for me today, so rather than working a night shift. And those are very rare, right? I work mostly at night. And so I just got here to our old flat. If you have been following me, we moved to my grandma's house when COVID started. So I'm back at the flat here, and I'm ready to go. Right? I set up the computer. I got my tea ready. I have on my mind what needs to get done, and I sit down, and there's blockage. I can't. My mind is going rolling, full speed. Gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta get that list done, gotta email, gotta prepare that, do some marketing, get back to some emails, and on. And I just sit there. I keep sipping my tea, and by the time my tea is all drank, I still sit there. I literally feel I'm paralyzed. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed by how much I need to do or want to do. But that's not what the negativity is. I'm overwhelmed by my emotions. Something is just not right within me. I know I have to do all these things and I want to do them. I love what I do, but my energy is telling me no. If I decide to do X and I almost went for it, I'll do it half-hearted. I actually don't want to do it. Not right now. I know now is the time, but I don't want to do it. So there's a dilemma, right? I have the time, it's due. It would be good if it gets done, but I don't want to do it. So why force it upon myself, or why do something that doesn't feel right? And that's where all of this video starts today. Because I thought, well, what a brilliant message. Before I had that idea, what a brilliant message, I thought, well, it doesn't feel right. So what is my energy telling me? My energy is telling me I have a blockage within me. Let me go find out what that blockage is. So what do? I do a 8-minute meditation, a guided meditation, to see if that helps me get the flow going. Maybe I just need to calm down. Maybe I just need to root myself. So I take those 8 minutes, really not a lot of time, isn't it? And while I'm doing that meditation, it's working. It's working in a much bigger way than I expected it to be, because while I'm doing the meditation, I feel what I need to do is what I teach. What I need to do is go back to my feminine powers, my intuition. What is my intuition telling me I need to do? Having all these plans, having all my to-do lists, having all this strategy, I need to do X so Y can happen, so Z can happen. That's a lot of strategic planning, which is good too and has its place. But on a day like today, when there's blockage, that's not what really is needed. What is needed today for me, and I realize that now, is to continue on my feminine powers. Trust that whatever I'm doing is already working. And if I don't need to do X today, then that's fine, because Y is going to happen anyway. So really step back from this pressure that we put on ourselves constantly. I need to do. When really what you need to do is to undo all of that thinking and actually go inwards and see what is within you. So while I do that meditation, it comes to me, it's like, wait a minute, that's the message that I'm teaching people, right? When I coach, a very typical question is, what do you feel you need to do? And the answer then is, well, I think I need to think about it, or I think I need to write XYZ. And then I need to repeat my question because it feels like they haven't heard me in the first place. And that's how removed it is from us. It's like, that's what you're thinking. What do you feel you need to do? And then I get two responses. I either get a very quick one, well, I know, well, if you ask me what I feel, well, it's clear, I need to do that. That's so obvious to them sometimes. But then other times, it's very removed from them. What I feel I need to do, I don't know. What do you mean feel? Say, well, close your eyes. Close your eyes. What do you feel in this scenario? What do you want to do? And it takes a while then to coach them through the process. So for today, my teaching is to really feel for myself today what I need to do. Not what my head is telling me what I need to do. I want to really listen to my body. If there were blockages before, if I couldn't do what I wanted to do, I was feeling my energy was somewhere else. And so I'm going after it. And I thought, what a brilliant idea to share my journey today with you. So you haven't seen me before I did my meditation, but just imagine myself sitting on the computer like, where do I even start? And then you hang out in Facebook, for longer. And then you notice that and you close Facebook. It's like, what am I even doing here right now? So you don't have that part of this journey that I'm witnessing with you. But you have me now after an 8-minute meditation that told me that open up for me, that I'm going to do now and I think it's an hour and a half. I'll tell you later. I haven't chosen yet which one. Guided meditation that really works with your energy, with how you feel. So in this flat, and this is what I want to share as well, where I have really, it's very messy in here because we have moved halfway out of here. I've set myself on the floor. See if I can show you. I'm sitting on my son's little playground thingy. I've grabbed a blanket that I had on the couch because I don't have any meditation chair here. You don't need a meditation chair. You don't need a blanket. You don't need anything. You can sit on the couch, and what's important is that you sit upright, right? And if that's difficult for you, make sure you can lean somewhere. Like I use the wall because it's going to be quite long. You can sit back on the couch, on a chair. But what's really important is that you ground yourself on the floor so the energy can flow from your crown up to your bottom. And what I always do is I grab a blanket. So I grab the blanket that I found and I put that usually on here on my lap so it feels cozy. And that's all you need. And obviously a guided meditation as well that you can find of your liking. So I'm going to do that now, and I'm going to come back later and let you know what opened up for me. So you can see really the journey from being stuck to wherever it gets me. I don't know where it's going to take me, but I have learned to trust the process, and that's something I want you to know as well. Trust the process. So I know whatever I will do next will be absolutely wonderful. So I'll speak to you in an hour or so. Right, so this should be part 2 of today's sequence. So I just finished the meditation, and boy, that was something. So what do I want to share? Well, first thing, it was extremely difficult for me to concentrate and listen to the meditation. So whatever was happening while I was sitting on the computer just continued during the meditation. I didn't follow I didn't follow the guidance, right? My mind was going crazy. I was somewhere else. Going through my own questions in my head, and really difficult to disconnect from what was going on earlier on the computer as well. Like, what am I meant to be doing right now? Why am I so confused? Why am I so split between two worlds? What I need to do or should be doing, and what else is there? What am I feeling? And then it's really interesting when you do these meditations, because I guess subconsciously you're still listening to the voice that is guiding you. So I was dipping in and out of the meditation, I should say. Then I caught my thoughts, and I was listening for a while again, the meditation, and I'm okay when I do these meditations, and I always say that, there's if it's important that you go back to the meditation and center yourself again. But when your mind is going all over the place, you are processing some information. So I knew that whatever I was going through was opening up something else for me. And then so what came up for me is not new, and it's this old belief in this old pattern that runs through my family, from my ancestors, which is you gotta work hard, right? I come from a working class family, as far as I can track them, and it doesn't go very far. I can track them down to my great grandmother on my paternal side, on my father's side, my paternal great grandmother, and they're very rural, very poor. Some of my family were very very hungry growing up, right? They lived squeezed into a house, lots of them working the farm or working the land. It's not really a farm, and just scraping by day. And you used to get up in the morning, you used to work your land, feed the animals, whatever it is, you would do that until the sun would set again. And when you weren't doing that, you would go to church. I come from a Catholic family. You would go to church, and you would devote the rest of your time in the belief of God. And it was a really, really hard times for my family, working hard, especially the women. There were a lot of women in my family, not so many men. My great grandmother, she would bring up her daughters by herself. There were few. I think she had 2 sons, and they were all living together. And then my grandmother and her sisters would have children without men again involved. So I never got to know my grandfather. And so it was always women working very hard. And when I mean hard, it is very hard. And I guess going back to my grandma's house now, it really opened up, another stream of energy, connection. Neighbors come by, and they are really happy for me, to see me there, with my family, enjoying the house and the garden. But they can see the garden is not being farmed. I mean, I have a little veggie garden, but I have a much bigger pool. That was the first thing we bought last year, right? A pool. And we planted where there used to be, where my grandma would cultivate potatoes and other vegetables. We planted grass, right? We want some grass, we want green. And so it's a different use from the land that traditionally for many years has been used to produce food. And agriculture is really difficult. And in this part, or my family, it's not, they're not big agriculture people, but they would plant potatoes and sell them maybe in local and vegetables in local food markets, or pharmacy markets, right? And it's really hard work, just the little garden that I have, and anybody that has a garden knows how hard it is. And now imagine, having having that times, I don't know, 25. So it's really hard work, and then with not much money coming in. So the belief doesn't exist of doing what you feel you are called to do. The thing is, you were born into this life, and you did what your mother did before, which is cultivating the land and working very, very hard. So it always goes back to working hard. You work My parents did it, when they moved to Germany, they worked hard and brought up three children with working hard. But none of them said, I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna work smart, so to speak, or I'm gonna follow my passion. I'm not gonna do what the rest of what the rest of people around you do. So I broke through there already, right? By becoming a life coach. But then also, to follow your intuition and wanting to work less hours. I'm a homestay mom, so my decision was not to work full time, but be a full-time mom and fill the rest of the time with work that I love doing. My mom was a full-time mom, and she went to work as well. So again, the sacrificing, this sacrificing yourself. It seems more like a survival thing than a thriving thing. I'm here to thrive. So that became that's what opened up for me in the meditations. Like, that is what's going on today. I come here, and instead of just grabbing my computer, phone, whatever, and do my meditation, maybe a bit of yoga, and just work on my spiritual awakening, on my spiritual growth, that is quite different from my ancestors. And instead of doing that, which is something that's really important to me, because that's why I get my inspiration. That's where I get the fuel to be the person I want to be, and with that also to be of service to other women, right? So that is, if you want to look at that, and I don't, but just to bring it out more clearly, that is what is part of my work, right? Part of my work is to make sure that I am grounded. Part of my work is to grow so I can keep serving. Part of me is to keep learning so I can keep serving. It's actually part of my work, and that's just opening up to me. And maybe it's an escape that I'm trying to find right now to justify again why I'm doing what I'm doing. And that's what came up in my meditation. That's what opened up, is I need to break off, or my desire is to break off with my ancestors' belief of working hard is what we're meant to be doing in this world, and that's the survival mode. And so when I got here today, and with my head thinking like them, I need to do X, Y, Z, I need to look very busy, because if I work hard, it means I'm doing right. And if I'm stressed, and thankfully I'm not hungry, but if I'm busy, that just means everything is as it should be. When my heart knows that the more relaxed I am, the more intuitive I am, the more connected I am with my inner self, with my heart, and with what I feel, the more I'm actually aligned with that energy, the more I'm able to serve, which serving for me means helping other women to move themselves forward, right? To be confident with themselves and achieve whatever their goal is. And not everybody has to be a spiritual person, but to find the confidence to really do what you feel you want to do. So the more I am connecting to myself, the more I can serve, and that again is work. So so what I need to do is break off with that belief system, or accept that I am the first one in my conscious knowledge, that I'm the first one in my female dominated bloodline, I'm the first one that is breaking through with this pattern. And in previous meditations, I've meditated on that before, so it's not new. On previous meditations, I've had that conversation already with myself and with my ancestors. And I know one grandma in particular, my mom's mom, I know, who I never met. I know she's there, especially there for me, telling me, yes, please do, please do, please break with this spell. And my heart goes out to them, just imagining them, now that I live in this area, how much they have suffered. And I want to break through these wounds, these ancestral wounds, but it's very difficult. So today is a day where where it becomes clear how difficult it is to break something that is that deeply rooted in my bloodstream, right? In my ancestors' energy that obviously has been passed on through me. So what I did after meditation is what I did is I grabbed, well, first I grabbed the computer. I have a online journal, because sometimes it's easier when your thoughts are too fast, and it's easier to type up for me my thoughts. But then I felt like it wasn't working, it just wasn't working. And I don't know if you have that feeling as well sometimes, but sometimes it's just things are not working for me. So I just keep looking, what is it that I need? What is it that I need? But again, I feel it, I go for it. What do I need to feel? What do I need to need? What do I need to need? So I grabbed a pen and I grabbed a piece of paper and I started writing. You cannot even really read the writing, but it doesn't matter, because it's not there to read again. It's just to let the flow go through. And that was really helpful. That was really helpful because it really reflected again from what opened up in the meditation to really put it down again, have this conversation of wanting to break the vicious cycle of suffering, of working hard, and really breaking free and being the one. And literally, I feel in my female-dominated, this is really important, in my female-dominated bloodline, I am the woman that is holding the key to a new gate, or to a gate to enter a new era for whoever comes after me, but also for the ones who were there before me. I feel like by me doing this, I'm releasing also all of their pain, that it wasn't in vain. And I guess that's a big responsibility. And but then again, I know I'm good. I'm meant to do this. I can carry that responsibility. But that is something that I need to train, right? I need to train my mind and my intuition, continuing what I feel I'm doing. And the way to do that is, well, with the meditations and with journaling and reminding myself, this is who I'm meant to be. This is what I'm meant to be doing. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So I told you I didn't know where this was going to go today. And again, why am I sharing this with you? Because I hope this gives you some inspiration in where you're at, and see what is possible if we connect ourselves with our feminine side. If once you start challenging your masculine side, you know, the one that wants to plan and strategize and need to know everything, once you challenge that and you start wondering what is happening, it will become very difficult, because A, we live in a male dominated world, and B, because that's just not how you were programmed. So I want to share with you, for somebody that is how do I say, that is advanced, that has success in what she does, by not following the status quo, you know, but by doing what I want to do. And I started doing this 3 years ago, when I didn't want to go back to my day job after Luca was born. So, you know, I feel very successful in what I do. But I want you to know that even if you're successful, you still struggle with this on a daily basis, and you still have to learn and to advance on a daily basis. So I don't want you to ever think it is just now, it's you now, or this, you know, it starts somewhere, and then you just don't know where it takes you, and the path is always uncertain and sometimes scary, or on a day like today, difficult. But I want you to see, you know, with myself, this is how I deal with it, right? I don't want you to think that successful people, successful, aligned, confident people wake up every morning this way. You work on it. There is days where you struggle with it, and it makes us human, right? And that's what I wanted you to see that part of me, that I am human. I'm one of like you. And I wanted for you to see how I deal with it, right? Where I take my, what I do with it. You know, I definitely have the experience, I have the knowledge to deal with it, to push me through. And I thought sharing that with you gives you an insight, you know, what else you can be doing. So there's going to be a third part in all of this. I just need to watch my time a little bit, but in a different, let me see what time it is, in a different way than earlier, not because I think I need to go and do something else, just because I have an appointment in an hour and a half time, and I still want to eat lunch. So the third part now is, now that I'm aware of where the blockage is, now that I'm aware of where the blockage is, the energy blockage, you know, now that I know that I hold the key, I'm going to go back to a silent meditation. Silent in the sense, it's not going to be guided, so I'm just going to put some meditation music on, and I'm going to go and see if I can bring some, you know, some flow into my chakras, into my line, and see what opens up for me. See if I can ask a question, if a question for me opens up that I want to ask. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I want to ask for some help, or maybe I just want to I don't know. This is the whole point. I just know that now that this opened up for me, I need to ground myself and close it again, so I can walk away knowing, how should I say it? So I can walk away knowing everything's as it should be, right? So I can walk away powerfully and feel supported and loved by the universe. And I definitely want to connect to my ancestors. I feel I need to talk a little bit about that limiting belief that, you know, you work hard to be successful. I need to let them know that I got this. I got this, and that they need to trust me. And it's very interesting, right? That they need to trust me rather than I need to trust that I'm doing the right thing. I know already that I'm doing the right thing. It's my mind, it's my limiting belief, it's what I was brought up to believe. It's what's in my genes, in my DNA. Work hard, work hard, work hard. When I have a much higher awareness that working hard, working hard is connected immediately with my family to suffering, to hunger, to pain. So it's not only working hard, you can work hard, but in my case, it's with my family, it's pain, it's painful, it's suffering, that it's scraping by. I need to put that to rest. So that's what I want to do with this next meditation. So I'll be back one more time after that. Wow. So that was beautiful. I wonder if my face changed. It has to have been changed from the first video. I'm gonna have a look later. So that was beautiful. I closed my eyes, and the first thing I saw immediately was myself, the way I'm dressed today. Sometimes you get these super visualizations where you wear something white or whatnot. But I was wearing, including shoes, what I'm wearing today, and I saw myself from above, like bird's eye view, right? And I was outdoors. It wasn't the garden where I live now in my grandma's house, but it was outside. Yeah, outside. And I saw myself from above, and I was just standing there. And for a while, I had this view. And then I was taken away. The view got higher, until higher, into space. So it got all dark all of a sudden. I could feel the energy though that was taking with me, from me, with me into space. And I was floating in space for a while, just floating there. And I kept curious, in the meditation. I kept curious about what's going to happen next. Where's this taking me? And after a while, don't know how long, it felt long. After a while, I was taken back, and then there I was again, bird's eye view. I could see myself closing into again. I could see myself from far away until I saw myself, I don't know, 15 meters from above. And then I could feel the energy of my ancestors, and they were there waiting for me, basically. And I had to wait for a while. I had to see what this means. What am I feeling? Where's this taking me? And then I had a little sack of a black sack. It felt like, where everybody put in their pain. That's really interesting. My mind popped in. It's like, oh, hold on. My conscious mind popped into that scene and said, hold on, a sack won't be big enough. Just as a side note, it was really interesting. When I let go of that conscious thought and went back to whatever you want to call it, vision, everybody was filling the little black sack, right? Including my mom. Everybody was there. And then it felt like I was going through a gate, but it didn't feel right, because at the same time I didn't feel like I wanted to leave them. I didn't want to go away from them. I wanted them. I want them in my life. I didn't want to say goodbye. See you. We'll never see you again. That's when love grew inside me, love for them as well. But I still had the sack in my hand. And then I felt my maternal grandmother that I told you before that I've never met. My mom was actually 7 months pregnant with me when my grandma passed. Always felt a deep connection to her. She seemed to step forward from the group and towards me and give me the right energy, I guess, to continue my meditation, to continue be curious. And then I walked a few steps to a magnolia tree, and that's that's beautiful, because when I just moved into my grandma's house, I was telling you about the garden that we planted grass, right? We had to wait, or we're still waiting for it to be really pretty. But I love magnolia trees, and I see them blooming everywhere right now in this beautiful pink white color. Oh, I love them. And my dad bought me one. I was gonna buy myself one, and he bought it for me. Really sweet. And we planted it together. And it's very little still. It's a very little tree. I will take a photo and I will upload it as well one of these days. And I checked it out yesterday, because it's not blooming, right? It's very young, and I have no idea about trees. I don't know if I'm supposed to do something with this young tree. And it was so cold outside, and I'm really scared that it will die, that it will never bloom. But a few days ago, I saw I don't know what you call them, I guess where the flower will come out, but it's, these gray things on the branches. I don't know what it's called. And there's loads of them. I was like really hoping that it will bloom. It will bloom one of these days. Anyway, so it was the magnolia tree. I understood the connection. I knew it was my magnolia tree in my garden, or my grandma's garden, even though in my vision I wasn't in that garden. And then I planted, I buried the sack. I buried the little black sack of pain. And I buried there with a lot of love. With a lot of love and compassion for my family. So I had a huge input of love. The energy, love, just came up for me a lot. Love, 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 love. And then a phrase popped into my mind, and that actually didn't go, that phrase didn't leave me until I have a little gong that goes off when the meditation is over. I put 15 minutes on. That phrase didn't go away, and it goes, this is where I come from, but this is not where I'm going. This is where I come from, but it's not where I'm going. Right? I buried where I come from. This is where I come from, but it's not where I'm going. I'm going in a different direction. And I just kept saying that to myself, and it felt really, really, really good. I felt really empowered as well at the same time. I think I brought peace to my ancestors by burying their pain of letting go of their pain, and acknowledging their pain. And I guess that's what I come from, but it's not where I'm going. And why is this so important? It's so important because this is when we work with limiting beliefs, this is where you come from. Maybe it is in your DNA, and maybe it's in your conscious mind, because that's how people bring you up, whether they do it good-minded or or bad-minded. Maybe people are good to you or bad to you. You grew up with limiting beliefs that who you are and who you're not, and who you should be and who you can be, and who you're supposed to be and what you shouldn't do. And this is really important that everybody knows this. And in my case, one of the things is work hard, suffering. What's this about working part-time and still have everything you need? Still have prosperity in your life, working part-time, what? And be a stay-home mom? What's that about? This is where I come from, but it's not where I'm going, and it's okay. I felt very empowered in that moment. I saw myself, still in the clothes I am today, standing there, feeling good about myself, feeling empowered. And then my family popped up as well, my partner and my son, and they were standing with me in the garden while the magnolia tree was there as well. And we were just standing there, and it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. I felt, this is my future. This is where I'm going. While I had this immense love, and I still feel it now, for where I come from. And then actually, we were taking away again. We were flying off high again into space, traveled high up into darkness, good darkness, just in space where it's dark, right? Still feeling though the energy that was pulled from the earth, and that's that's when the gong came back and brought me back into reality. And this is where I come from, but it's not where I'm going. So I don't know. It's time for me to have lunch now. But that's what it can look like when you're willing to do the work and willing to listen to your feelings and go and explore and have curiosity, be curious about, rather than I could have easily just sat there and done my to-do list, do it because my head is telling me to do it. Work. What is this meditation thing? What am I doing? What is that about? What a waste of time. I could have easily thought that, I could have easily been led by my masculine side, which we all have. But it's much more exciting, it's much more powerful to put it aside and really explore what is behind the blockage. So if I take a scan now of how I feel now, I feel really relaxed, and not because I've been closing my eyes for the last hour, but I feel really calm. I feel really connected again with who I want to be, who I feel I am. So it's worth it. It's worth it to, take a break sometimes and be curious and trust the process. And I said this to you in the beginning. I don't know where it was taking me, but I trusted this. I have done this many times before. I knew this is what I needed to do. I knew my answers are going to be inside of me. So, hope this was useful. And let me know your comments. Let me know your comments, and thank you very much for letting me do this and share myself with you. Much love.